folks. Welcome to another episode of Court Calls, the show where tennis players from the Triangle call in with their questions for our panel to decide if they were in or out or who is right or wrong. Today, our panelists are Steve Rockkind, who is the tennis coach at Riverside High School, and we also have Joanne Hudley, who is the USTA umpire. Today, we're not going to take calls from callers, but we will be talking about grievances. But first, we're going to hear from Steve to see what's in the news and what's going on locally. Steve, what do you got?
Well, there's some excitement, obviously, that Durham Parks and Recreation will be sponsoring a combo league for the fall. Couple of pieces of information behind that. Number one, first and foremost, as we know, USTA will not be having any states for the entire calendar year of 2020, so this league does not advance. The other more interesting thing, well, there's a couple interesting things about it. Number one, it's a no refund league. As we've experienced already with DPR, they've chosen to do it that way. So what that essentially means is if the governor decides to dial back some of our ability to function or to meet in large groups, and the league has to go on hiatus, there will be no refund of fees. Given that, the fees will be $12 for Durham residents and with an additional $12 fee if you are a non-resident. The leagues will only be 18 plus and 40 plus. And there'll be the normal combo numbers of 5-5, 6-5, 7-5, conceivably 8-5. There won't be any 9-5 because we don't have any 5-5 players running around here. So it'll be that. As I said, only 18 plus and 40 plus. There will be no 55 or 65 plus combo leagues this fall. I'm fairly sure that the feedback that Kathy got from the surveys that she sent out said that there weren't going to be enough players to make those leagues go because the 55s and 65s are being a little more cautious about.
But the 65s could play in the other leagues if they choose, right?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. As certainly I've done in the past. Yes. Yeah. Very good point, Joanne. So the days of play, there will be both days and evening teams. Days of play are listed on DPR's Google Drive. Captains will be able to get a team number from Kathy after they have signed some agreements having to do with making sure that they have 6 players and minimum 6 players to play, and that they will be willing to play in a 2-team flight if there's only 2 teams that are interested in playing either in the day, say 3-5 or, I'm sorry, 7-5 or 8-5 combo or something like that, or the evening. And there will be a virtual captain's meeting on August 27th at 6:30 p.m. And I'm sure reaching out to Kathy, any captain who's interested can reach out to Kathy and she'll give you more information about that. In terms of obviously high schools, Durham, Wake, and Orange County, being that they are all going virtual right now, there are absolutely no plans to have any high school sports at this point while schools are meeting virtually. I've been in contact with the athletic directors and with North Carolina High School Coaches Association, and we are waiting to see how things go. And as North Carolina, for example, the COVID numbers keep going up. I'm not seeing that's going to change, certainly not in August. We had a theoretical start date of September 1st. I've heard absolutely nothing to indicate that any sports will start up on that date. On the pro level, there is the first WTA tournament on American soil started in Lexington this past Monday, and I think Serena is playing Venus today, and I don't know what I haven't tuned into that, but I think that was an 11:30 match today or something like that. I watched the WTA from Palermo last week, and it was really good. There was some fine tennis, and in Italy they were wonderfully socially distancing. Everybody in the audience had masks. They were grouped by family groups, and there was plenty of space in between spectators, and the minimal officials, and no shot spot or anything like that. So but the players were being very cooperative with each other, and it was really good tennis. And from what I've tuned in a little bit to Lexington yesterday, and it was okay. They're going to be back in. So that's nice. It's nice to see from the pro level that they're giving it a shot and that they're being appropriately cautious.
Well, on World Team Tennis, you may have noticed the former UNC player, Nick Monroe, was playing, and then Christina McHale, who's the sister of one of the Carolina women's former players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we've had some local connections.
Yeah, I think we're doing all right. I know that the colleges, of course, are all doing a wait and see kind of approach. And as you know, certainly with football, the Big Ten canceled their season yesterday, and we're not really sure if the Southern Conferences will follow suit or not.
Or the ACC, we don't know what we're doing.
We do not.
We don't know.
We do not.
Well, just to go back to combo, captains, make sure that you get your teams in today. Today is registration, August 12th, and it goes through the 26th. So you don't have that many days to set up your combo team for the fall. So make sure you get those teams in, sign those agreements, and Kathy will give you the team number. Okay, well, let's go back to what happened last episode, and we're going to clear up some of the issues that we talked about. Actually, one of our viewers, Leah, brought this up to our attention. So let's discuss. The question was, if a ball were to hit another ball outside the court, hits the ball outside the court, goes back into the court, is that in or out? And so, Joanne, what is your thoughts?
Well, the answer is if a ball hits an object that's outside the court, the player loses the point. And that's what happened. And
we went on to discuss.
We screwed up.
And we screwed up. That's why we want to clarify this. So let's clarify it, Joanne. What do we need clarifying?
Well, the part that we got, we made a mistake on is if a ball in play hits a single post, hits a net post, it's good. But there's a caveat there. If it's singles and there's single sticks in place, the net post is a permanent fixture, so you lose a point.
Yeah.
Furthermore, if a serve hits a net post, it's a fault. So net post is a tricky business. It's no wonder we didn't make that clear.
Yeah, we basically screwed up. But yeah, I mean, I think, Joanne, that's what happened to me. I was thinking net sticks, and I was thinking, anyway, but good clarification.
But let's talk a little bit about net post and, well, more to the point, permanent fixtures. If a ball hits a permanent fixture, the player loses the point. And the best way I can remember that is to think about the ceiling at an indoor facility. We know that if a ball hits the ceiling, it's out.
Well, also, if courts are divided by nets or fences, I've actually played on courts where they have fencing that kind of comes in to part way to separate courts, the back third, something like that. And if you can go and play a ball and your racket can hit the net, the side netting, on a side netting on a divided court.
Right.
But if the ball hits the side netting first, the point's over.
It's an object outside the court.
Yeah, and lots of people get into disputes, indoors particularly. Oh no, I hit it before it hit the net, kind of thing. And yeah, that's a tough one.
Another permanent fixture is an official. If there's an official on court, or a coach, or a spectator, or a seat, or a chair, you lose the point.
Chair umpire,
or roving umpire, or somehow if it hits a bench in the stands and bounces back in, it's still out.
I was in sectionals one time, and a roving umpire called a foot fault on me, and I lost the point and the game because it unraveled me so much. I would have liked to have hit her, but didn't happen. I'm just saying.
Her?
Yeah, it was a her. Yeah, with a ball. I mean, you know. But,
All right.
yeah, but you know, not only did I lose the point and lose the game, but it was world team tennis, and we ended up not advancing
Oh,
to the finals on the basis of one game.
don't tell me you were a hot-headed player.
No, I was just upset. I got called for a foot fault.
Yeah, you and Serena.
Yeah, well, I don't know about Serena's, but I did footfall. You know? You know, I'm going to say it. I did footfall. And you may notice it, you know, if you ever see me not only teach tennis, but play tennis, I start my service motion a full foot behind the service line. Broke me of being close to the line ever again.
One of my tennis buddies, in fact, I played with him this morning, I think is bordering on being an illegal serve because he starts about a yard back and takes a step as he hits, almost like a
running serve.
running
Yeah.
serve.
Yeah, which is totally illegal.
But his serve is all right, so it's not that much of a threat.
Oh, good. But if he started winning a lot of points, somebody would say something to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not in,
Well,
in this league.
Since we're
Oh,
bringing up grievances, let's
Yeah.
discuss grievances. A lot of folks don't know, you know, how to file a grievance. What's the procedure? What type of things would validate filing a grievance? So in most cases, your captain has to file the grievance. Now, what if the grievance is against your captain?
Well, okay, go ahead.
Then it would either go to to Kathy, which would then go to Jenny, because if it's a grievance against the captain and the captain has to file the grievance, it would override the captain. But it is a procedure. You do have to write a statement. There are grievance forms on the DPR Google Drive if you have any questions about that, and there are directions on how to file a grievance. If the grievance is against an opponent, again, discuss it with your captain. And if your captain feels that you do have, you know, a valid point, then you can file the grievance. I went through a large seminar in Greensboro and received one of these. You can't see it. Why can't you see it? There it is. Grievance.
Now we can see it. Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
So we've we've had a couple of grievances that were entertaining, to say the least. Like faulting all three lines, a team that faults all three lines on a consistent manner. You know, this, I believe it was a player that that was questioning why the captain would default all three lines, only to find out that the captain was helping another captain get to states. So there was an advantage of them defaulting all three lines would push them into states. They were tied with another team, but by defaulting the match, they went to states. And yeah, that's actually happened, and they got some disciplinary action there. Disciplinary action can go either way. It could go against the person you're filing grievance against, or it could go against the person who's filing the grievance. I've seen that happen, where the person filing the grievance actually was at fault and initiated it, and that person received disciplinary action. And disciplinary action can run from anything from you can't ever captain a team, you know, for a year, or you're banned from playing any USTA league for a year. I mean, that would be the most extreme case, depending on who's on the grievance committee, which makes up of 3 different players, and it usually switches. You know, some of the cases, the teams that I know or captains I know, I would never serve on that grievance committee because I know them personally. So it has to be a non-biased committee. But
That can
have
be
you
a
two?
problem.
Hmm?
That can be a problem
Oh
because,
yeah,
when you play around here, for the most part, you get to know everybody. So
right.
it's really hard to find somebody who doesn't know a particular person when a grievance gets filed. I mean, I don't know everybody, but, I play on teams at all age levels. It would be hard necessarily for me not to, if I were on the grievance. I have been on the grievance committee.
Yeah.
I'm not at this point. It would be hard.
Well, you would probably be on the grievance committee for something of a 2530 manner.
Mm-hmm.
So you would
There you go. Yeah.
oversee somebody. So I would be overseeing something of a higher level if I'm a 3-0 and this is a 4-0
Mm-hmm.
grievance who I don't know too many people. So
Okay.
that's how they find the people to be on the grievance committee. But yeah, there's some wicked stories out there from a fight in a parking lot at States, between two guys I mean, it's interesting. And then there's just the petty stuff that
Are there any guidelines for what can qualify?
there aren't many guidelines. If it's unsportsmanlike behavior, that's pretty much, and it's up to the committee to determine, is it unsportsmanlike? So it's mostly always unsportsmanlike behavior. If it's cussing on the court, we've had one of those. If it's going for the jugular, that's happened.
I understand it happened with women players.
Oh yeah, it happened with women
Mm-hmm.
players, and
Yeah.
she was going for the jugular to get her opponent to stop, yelling at her. So that was a fun one. But and then some of the others are just sort of mundane and just But have you guys experienced any of those?
One of the things that I'm hearing a lot about recently has to do with continuous play. That there seems to be, because of the heat, essentially, a lot of people are taking lots of breaks.
Prolonged breaks.
Yeah, maybe prolonged breaks. And USTA is pretty clear about what the rules are. And, if you need a medical timeout, what the rules are for that. But it seems as if, because of the casualness of what a lot of play is right now, people are maybe taking advantage of taking too much time between on changeovers and things like that. I mean, I've been hearing a lot about that. We've been hearing a lot about that.
We've been hearing a lot about that. Knowing that the changeover between sets is a minute and a half. It's been 5 minutes for some of these ladies who are having to get off the courts, get underneath shade, and take a breather because it's just brutally hot.
That's too long. But when we're officiating, when we're doing officiated matches, we call that running a slow clock. Give it a little extra time if heat conditions are such.
Is it
5 minutes?
I mean, if your opponent is going to allow it, but if your opponent is hey, let's wrap this up.
Right.
Is this something that the opponent can file grievance on?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
if you don't have an official available there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Have a recourse.
Yeah, we've had a couple complaints about that, especially the 11 o'clock matches on Saturdays and Sundays, where it's just brutal. It just depends on, how is your patience level?
Or do you have something else planned after the match?
Well, if you have anything else to add, we'll wrap this one up.
It's been a fun time, y'all.
Yes, it's always fun with you guys.
See you next time.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.
Bring in all your questions.